Vlogmas, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today we're gonna be making donuts. So no baking required, but we'll be frying. So we're gonna start out with a half a cup plus 1 tablespoon of warm milk. I'm gonna just put this into my bowl. Next, I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon of sugar. And I'm using the Hill Country brand, this is from H-E-B, of some fast rise instant yeast. Just gonna use a packet. Give it a little mix. And I'm gonna let that sit for 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long it takes for my yeast to bloom. So we'll be back once our yeast has bloomed. Here's our yeast mixture all bloomed. So now I'm gonna put in 1 egg. All right, we're gonna put in 1 egg. I'm gonna set that aside right now. Here I have 2 cups of flour, and I'm gonna add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Alright, so now that I have my egg in the yeast mixture, I'm gonna go ahead and add my flour and salt mixture. I have 1/8 of a cup of oil. And then we're gonna do 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now I'm going to take this over to the mixer and mix everything together. Vanilla is optional, but I'm going to go ahead and add in just a little bit of vanilla for some extra flavor. I have my bowl here that I'm going to put the dough in. So I'm just going to put some oil in it to keep the dough from sticking. And I'll show you my dough. Here's what my little dough ball is looking like. That took about 5 to 7 minutes for it to all come together. And I'm just gonna sit it over in that oiled dish for probably 1.5 hours because it's a little bit cooler here. So it may take a little longer, but I'm probably gonna put it in the oven with my oven light on. So that will help it proof a little bit faster. But we're gonna proof it until it is doubled in size. And this dough is a little sticky. So, let's see if I can get it out now. No dough left behind. Alright. Gosh, my fingers are slow, so. Okay, I'm just gonna roll it in the olive oil so that it's nicely coated, and that way it won't stick. Here's the final product before we do proofing. So now we're going to cover it in plastic wrap and proof. So we're back with our dough. It's been about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours. Here's what we have. Is it double in size? Oh, I can't remember. Okay, let's see. There we go. It did double in size. So I'm gonna put down some flour on my cutting board and I'm gonna roll it out, and then we'll get to shaping the donuts. And this is going to be very interesting because I cannot really roll out with my right hand. So let's see how we do. So I think that's gonna be good for the first rollout. We'll take a little flour, and don't talk about me too bad, but I don't have a biscuit cutter big enough for the donuts that I want to do, so I'm just gonna use an insert from a cup. It's worked before, so should be no problem. Here. Sure. And then we're gonna cut out donut holes, of course. I think every time that I've made this recipe, we get a different number of donuts, so we'll see what we come up with this time. The ones that we did last, I think they were a little thin. So I'm trying to make sure these are a little bit more on the fluffy side. And here's what I'm using to cut the donut hole. These are literally things that I have around my house. So if you don't have all the fancy baking supplies, you can make it do with things around the house. This is actually a part of a pineapple core set that we have, which definitely comes in handy when you're trying to cut whole pineapples. Okay. All right, so my donut hole, I'm going to set my donuts over here because they need to rise again. So those right there. All right, and then we're going to roll it into a ball again. And we're just going to repeat these same steps that we just did. probably should go a little thinner. Let's see. Okay, so tonight we're supposed to be watching A Christmas Carol. I'm pretty sure it's still Jim Carrey. Yeah, I'm positive it's Jim Carrey. We're watching his version. And that is the movie that Evan and I went to go see on our very first Thanksgiving together. So we've made it like a tradition to watch it every year. Well, this time we didn't get to watch it on Thanksgiving, but we are still gonna watch it with the kids. Hopefully tonight, hopefully they feel like watching it when they get home from school. If we get dinner done early enough, then maybe we'll just watch it as we eat. But let me know if y'all have any like holiday traditions that you do every year. It doesn't necessarily have to be about Christmas or whatnot, but anything that you and your family do, or traditions that you want to start when you have a family or whatnot. When I was at home with my parents, we would decorate the tree on Thanksgiving night. Even though I did try to get my mom to do that, she was not in the mood. So yeah, but we try to do little things just to kind of, you know, make memories with the kids. I was telling someone at work that I only have 3 more Christmases with my son, or we only have 3 more Christmases with our son, like before he's in college. Now, granted, he can stay here and go to school if he chooses to do that, but he would be like an adult basically. So I'm like, I just want to do like all the things because that's a short time. Like, that is a very short time. And granted, I'll be retired when he goes off to college, so I'm planning, I don't know how he feels about this, but I'm planning to spend as much time with him as possible, even when he's gone to college. I don't know what I'm doing with this dough. I'm trying to figure out the best way to roll it out one more time, because I really want to try to get one more at least. But yeah. Okay, so here's what we have right now. I'm gonna let those rise again, and then we'll fry them up. So I had a couple guests come while the donuts were rising, so I also let them rise a little longer than I wanted to, but we're gonna fry them up and see what they look like. So while I'm waiting on the oil to finish heating up, I'm just gonna go ahead and make my powdered sugar, or not powdered sugar, I'm gonna make my glaze. So I'm using some powdered sugar and a few tablespoons of milk. I usually use heavy whipping cream, but I don't have any right now, so I'm just gonna use regular milk. Hopefully I did not put too much in it. This is like probably the most simple little glaze. Really easy. You could put some vanilla in there as well. I don't think I'm gonna put vanilla this time because I did put some in my batter. So I think I'm just gonna do powdered sugar. And I may, just may, do a few chocolate. Emma's not eating any, so he's the one that normally loves the chocolate donuts. So I may just be able to do plain glaze. Okay, so I'm gonna try and fry them on 300 this time because my oil, I feel, gets a little too hot. And it takes a little bit for me to get them flipped and everything. So I'm gonna try on a lower temperature and we're gonna see how that works. 1, 2, and 3. that go for a couple minutes. Well, not even a couple minutes. Let's flip it. Okay, these are looking more like the Krispy Kreme. They're a little bit lighter. All right, we're gonna drop in our donut holes. And these cook super fast, so hopefully I could just grab and drop them in. I'm only gonna do a few at a time just so I don't have to worry about not being able to get them. All right. Okay, I think that's good. We'll do 5. Puffing up so nicely. It looks so yummy. And here is the final result. These are the donuts. The donut holes are still over on the rack, but they look so delicious and they taste good too.